the second week of our Path of Integrity series. As we know, the series is about Joseph's story, and Joseph's story is about how our good dreams, can come true in our integrity. And here I'd like to start from looking more closely at Joseph's story from the perspective of Joseph. So from last week, Joseph went through some difficult times. There was a death threat and betrayers by his own brothers. And in the story in the morning, I imagine that Joseph is slowly getting back. He does well and prospers, actually. And I imagine that Joseph is a conscientious person, meaning that he works hard. He is honest with his duty. And the Lord is with him too. And that leads him to excel in his work and in that household. And I don't imagine him to be soaked up in his dismay because of the brothers and because of what they did to him. I don't imagine him giving up on himself and on his dreams. If he did, our story this morning would have been much different. But he still stands firm with who he is. And we'll have our own challenges too while we try to work our dreams to come true. And usually the problems are disruptive voices and noises we hear telling us our dreams and visions are not worthy. They're like the brothers' mockery and belittlement of Joseph. And this morning we'll see how another challenge can fall on us. This time, the noises we are talking about here is that they harass us. Those noises harass us and seduce us into thinking something wrong. And basically what they tell us, it is okay to cheat. And the key point of the story is drop the distractions. Drop the distractions, especially from ideas of cheating. So while we try to work on our dreams, various ideas of cheating can and will find us. And what I mean by a cheat or cheating is basically acting dishonestly and unfairly so that we can get what we want. We take advantages on something by doing what is not permitted. That's cheating, and that's our distraction. And unfortunately, we can find various ideas and means for cheating in our lives. For example, if we want to get a better score on a test that we haven't been prepared for well, what can we do? The classical example is we, take up a pencil and we take a note on our palm or in our arms under the sleeves, and we cheat from there. Instead, we could have studied a little harder days before. And if we are dreaming of a good athlete, like a professional one, there is a plenty of means to cheat too. There are drugs that boost up and enhance our performances, and we can even buy off judges and referees to favor our performances. And there are so many others, so on and on. So cheating, in other words, are easier, more convenient way that can allow us to achieve what we want. But they're not lawful. They're not fair. But people take up various means to do so because they want to make their dream come true easier and sooner. That is the appeal and the seduction. Who doesn't want an easy path? Who wouldn't want an easy path or easy success? But what if there isn't anything like an easy path at all? There's not a shortcut to our dream. If there's such a thing, we actually should call that as a cheating. But still, we will hear voices like, oh, things will get easier. You will get there sooner if you do this. It's just around the corner. You just take it up and do it. And we can think of such a voice as Potiphar's voice. And she's saying, lie with me, lie with me. And if I contextualize and add something more, her seduction could sound such as, and that's actually telling our integrity, Joseph, my husband is away. He's not around. Don't go to work. Just, you don't have to go to work and, spend some time there. I'll put some good words for you to my husband when he's back. Just stay with me. You don't have to work. You don't have to work. Just be with me. And that's a big trap. And a lot of people do. But back to Joseph, our guy. It isn't really laid out in the story per se, but if we think it through, it is somehow obvious that Joseph should know that Potiphar's wife could, so to speak, strike him or stab him in the back if he didn't follow along with her offer. He most likely knows that Potiphar's wife is sly. She is sly. She is mean and she is deceiving. And he knows because she's been asking him to cheat with her day by day, almost every day. And he knows. And these aren't complicated lines of thoughts. And Joseph, he is smart. And we can think that we should think that Joseph knows or foresees that turning her down can cause a big trouble for himself, like a big retaliation on him. But he doesn't give in. He doesn't listen to her voice. He isn't bought into thinking that things will get easier if you stay with her. He isn't bought into that. And Joseph, or in other words, our integrity can know and perceive that there is never such a thing as shortcut, an easy path to our dream. And as we remember from last week, good dreams we are talking about here aren't of materialistic values. But the good dreams that we have from the Lord are about becoming a better person who is decent and sound in spiritual qualities that the Lord gave us and whose heart is honest and faithful. And one of the best dreams along with this line we can dream of is build a happy and healthy family. That sounds like a wonderful dream to have. But our good dreams with this kind of high spiritual values can be mixed and compromised by wrong thoughts. And here's one of many ways that how we may come down to it. So we dream of a happy, healthy family, but there's a time we can face hard times. We have difficult circumstances arising. And there comes a time when we can be tempted to think there is another way around. A thought creeping in says something like, forget about your life and your marriage you have. Find another one. Things are going to be much easier and you will succeed much better there. And people, unfortunately, go on to that path. But we don't do that, right? We don't do that, people here. But actually, we may be doing it another way, in a more subtle way. Let's say we go online, we search our happier version of our life and marriage there. And I'm not talking about online dating for cheating. But one of the easy cheatings we may choose is we go online and we dream or fantasize. We fantasize a different life, a different marriage, a different relationship there. I mean, we aren't really doing anything actual there. We aren't building another family or anything actual there. But what happens is we fantasize those things as if they were real. What's really convenient about and easy about online or the internet is we don't have to work. We don't have to put work in it. We go on some social network services and others, and what we may end up doing there is we just scroll down, browse around, and entertain some unhealthy thoughts, using our imagination of what may happen, or what if we could get that lifestyle, or that man, or that woman. And again, a thought creeping in says, forget about your life you have, your marriage, or whatever you have, find yours here. It is easy here. And again, that's an offering. That's an offer for cheating because it gives an easy but dishonest, unlawful, unhealthy means to get what we want. That's what cheating stands for. And that's a big challenge. That can be a big challenge on our integrity. So what it does to us, it distracts us from our real life, in our real family and marriage. And there are plenty of other examples of how our good dreams can be mixed with wrong thoughts. And I'm going to talk about myself. For me personally, one of the dreams I can have as a minister is build our church great. How about that, right? So that's a really nice, good dream to have. But an idea can creep in, say, it won't matter. It won't matter what you do and how you do to get more people in the pews. I'm just making it up here, but let's say hand over $50 in cash to everyone who come to the church. Every time they do, we, give some money to them. Or what I could do, but I would never do, I could preach to people. If they come to our church, they will go to heaven no matter what. No matter what. I can preach that. But then I would be cheating. But you can hear the seduction and the appeal there. Oh, it sounds like it's a plausible plan. It might be wonderful to do that. But to me, that is the seduction of Potiphar's wife. That's a cheating, and I won't be bought into that. And actually, if we do that, that's gonna be a failure, a big time failure. But you know what? Potiphar's wife there, she is tenacious. She doesn't stop asking. It is said that she keeps asking Joseph to be with her, to lie with her, day by day. But the truth is that what we gain through cheating isn't really ours. What we gain through cheating doesn't last long either. Once we get off the internet, all the fantasies, all the delusion, our bad dreams just disappear. Poof. Paying off people to come to the church doesn't work either. I mean, they would come because of the money we hand over, but they don't come to our church for the word of the Lord. So when we try to work out our dreams, we will hear a lot of noises. Last week, there were the brothers' voices of mockery and belittlement. And this week, those distracting noises are the voice of seduction of Potiphar's wife to push us, to convince us into going after something dishonest. But we don't negotiate with those voices. These are just bad voices. So what we do, we drop those distractions. And if we needed to do, we would flee. We would run away from that. Like really, like we are really desperate. And another truth is that there are no way around. There are, so to speak, a due course or a certain path that we need to walk in order for us to achieve what we dream of. And our lesson is saying we stay on the course. We stay focused and committed to it by working, by putting actual work towards it honestly and faithfully in the Lord's presence. And there is power in it. In fact, when we do that, we can experience that the Lord works in us closely, and that heavens come closer to us in our minds. And I'm going to repeat a passage, a wonderful teaching of the new church in that regard. When our attention is drawn to heaven or the Lord, we also turn our gaze and thought in that direction too, which is meant by what is meant by in the word heaven coming closer. So if we hear some bad noises, some distractions, we knock them out. And we will keep on dreaming and walking the right path. And in that path, the Lord will be with us. He will make our life, our good dream, prosper in His own way.